come this way before, travel through the open door. Circumstances navigated the path, and life happened oh so fast. No, it got lonely. Sometimes you see, I know we couldn't make it. Even when I'm off beat, I still land on my feet, and nothing can shake me, cause I know life took a hold of me. I never. This is where I am destined to be. I'm not ready to give up. I believe in the miracle of life. Life's a play for no rehearsal. Learn quickly, they'll come for your role. Games get played, can't take it personal, cause the devil is a liar. Telling you the truth, hey. It's all in what you do, hey. Some things you gotta do, hey. It's right from me, I'm gonna take a second, see the blessing in it. From much expected, much is given. When I made the living, now I'm giving back to children. Never let the power come first before your happiness, yes. You can be the best if you go the distance. Mix a little sweat with your persistence. You know that the best things are never instant. Just shine, let them see your brilliance. Get up, open up your eyes now. It's the moment of truth. No backing down. We're bringing it through like oh, for the children, it's a given. You gotta give it, be a blessing.
This my personal statement. Run the game like I'm ASICs. Learn to develop patience, determined to be the greatest. Yeah, bobbing and weaving, they changing up like the seasons. Indigenous to the grind, so I do it for all my people. Jabbing the competition, back up against the ropes. You fighting for recognition, I'm fighting just to promote equality where we lack it. While cancer slowing our road, I'm confident we'll make it. We focus on common goals.
Yeah, give back, give love, give something away. Never give up, stand tall to fight another day. 2 toes, 2 feet, I stand on the ground. I'm going back soon and fight this final round. Life's a play with no rehearsal.
Come for your room. Take it personal, cause the devil is a lie. Hey. I'm telling you the truth, hey. It's all in what you do, hey. Some things you gotta do, hey. Dun, dun. What's up, Opulent? What up, DB? Macadon? What it do? What up? AKA Cletus, man. Mississippi King, where you been? How you been? Welcome back. Fat Cats, what's up, DB, TB, Mike Moss, man? I know we're here a little bit early. We pile in, man. Got an awesome show. I know we're excited for this one, right? I know we're excited for this one, man. I appreciate everybody coming in here, man. And yeah, man. And welcome to the show, man. Welcome to the show, man. We've had a great 24 hours, wouldn't y'all say? Shucks, man. Can it get any better? Yes, it can. Man, welcome back, man. Well, we took a 16-hour break. We back, Music of Troy. I appreciate y'all, man. And yeah, we just gonna rock out for a minute, man. Oh man, we got the Hall of Fame trainer Ronnie Shields in the building, man. He'll pile in any second, man. And we'll rock out. And I think he's trying to, is he figuring it out or he's good? He's probably good. Just got to connect the camera to your device, and then you'll be ready. I think that's someone in his family. But yeah, man, welcome back, man. How's everybody doing, man? It's a lot of news that happened over the last 16 hours, man. We'll talk about it tonight. You know what I mean? We got Knowledge Born Allah coming tonight, man. We're gonna talk some boxing, have fun, and yeah, man. So that's where we're at, man. And yeah, man, we got a fun show, man. Teofimo Lopez going to purse bid next week. Man, so much to talk about, man. Tyson Fury said, I take steroids and everyone else takes steroids. You know what I'm saying? so man, it's just a whole bunch of stuff coming out, man, in the past like 24 hours. So we'll delve into it. Yeah, we'll delve into it later on this evening. But yeah, man, welcome back, man. Welcome back. I'm excited for tomorrow. I'll tell you that much, man. Judas, I'm excited for that Fred Hampton film, man. And Nipsey Hussle got a song with Jay-Z coming out probably about 9 o'clock. As soon as we go live, because it'll be midnight on the East Coast. Or maybe they do UK time. I don't know. Let's hope they do UK time. You know what I'm saying? But I'm very interested in the music for that movie. I'm very much interested in the music for that movie. I'm thoroughly excited, man. I'll give y'all till next weekend to watch that movie. All right, because I'm watching it tonight. Today is Thursday. I'm watching it tonight. I got to, man. So I can't wait. I'm excited. So that's where we're at with that, man. I literally can't wait. So I have a great admiration for Fred Hampton. So obviously for namesake, but he was assassinated or murdered, excuse me, the same day that Jay-Z was born. He says that in one of his songs, and I did my research on it. He says, my mom gave birth to me the day Fred Hampton died. You know what I mean? Something like that. So pretty interesting, pretty compelling. So it's only fitting that Jay-Z, I know Jay-Z probably, he wanted to be a part of that movie probably so bad, and he got his wish, so I'm excited to hear that Nipsey Hussle and Jay-Z song tonight as well. I don't know nothing about the movie. I'm not ruining the movie. I don't know nothing about it. I mean, I know the story of Fred Hampton. I mean, I've done that part, I've tried to get the Hampton family on the show. We'll keep on trying. Obviously, they got a lot of media obligations leading up to the film, but maybe like when the movie calms down, they'll come on and maybe we'll get them on. It's just a great story. His wife is still alive. So I think that's important. And yeah, man, Fred Hampton is a short-lived, man. Short-lived. So it's just very much short-lived. And December 4th, right? Yeah, December 4th. So yeah, man, so that's where we're at. And yeah, Nipsey the Great. Amen to that. Nipsey the Great. Nipsey the Great. I see, Coach Shields. You almost got it. It's almost clear. There we go. Without further ado, man. Welcome
to the show.
You ready, Coach Shields? Oh, he don't know we live yet. We live, Coach Shields.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine, man.
How you doing?
Yeah, man. What's up, man? How you doing? Oh, you're delayed a little bit. Are you good now? No, you're frozen. Let me beam you out, and I'm gonna kick you out if you can hear me, and I'm gonna beam you right back in. Okay, we're good now. Are you good?
Okay.
We're good, man. How you doing?
I'm good.
How's COVID treating you, man? How's quarantine?
Quarantine is good, man. We're doing okay down here.
Yeah. You in Texas, right?
You got a delay.
You're in Texas, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you're in Texas. Okay. Yeah, man. You know what I just learned? I was doing research and I didn't know. I just found out today that you fought Sugar Ray Leonard in the Olympic trials.
Yes, I did.
Man, forgive me. I thought I knew everything, man, but nah. Take us through your I was like, how did I not know this, man? How did I not know this all these years, man?
Yeah.
Take us through that experience. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Well, we're supposed to fight, national Golden Gloves.
Uh-huh.
And Ray got cut.
Wow.
He got cut. I think his lip got cut real bad. So he defaulted to me, and then we ended up fighting in the Olympic trials.
How was that 76 team compared to 84? How would you compare 76 to 84?
Oh, that's. I think it would have been pretty close.
Pretty
But
close.
you know, I think 84. I think 84 probably was the best team ever.
Ever. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty interesting because we had Fred Zakendo on, and obviously Mark Breland and stuff like that. He's penetrating through the media ways. But I got a question. I always wanted to know, what's the difference between, because you've been a fighter and you've been now you're a Hall of Fame trainer. Can you speak to the difference in the business of the sport as it pertains to a trainer and a fighter? Give the fans some insight.
It's breaking up. I hear you, but then
Okay.
it's breaking up, so I can't hear you.
What's some of the similarities and differences between being a Hall of Fame trainer on the business side of boxing, the Hall of Fame trainer side of your life, and your fighting career?
Well, you know, I think like being a fighter, you know, of course you have a manager, and you know, and you may have a promoter. So when you're dealing, you have two people to deal with, and then you know it's kind of difficult to say that you run your own career, because you don't. You have to listen to what the manager says, and then you have to listen to what the promoter says. Then you have to make up your mind, you know, that all of y'all got to be on the same page. But as a trainer, you know, really, I only have to deal with the fighter, because art is not the fighter. Then I have to deal with the manager as far as my fee is concerned.
Got it. And would you say it's more challenging, or I should ask you, which is more challenging? Being the fighter?
I think it's more challenging.
Business side.
No, it's more challenging as being a trainer, I believe.
Really?
Because, you know, when you start, oh yeah, absolutely. Because when you have fighters that fight on pay-per-view, say, right? You know, they get paid for the money. If they're the top guy, let's say they're the, you know, the lead guy on the A side. So he's going to get money off the pay-per-view also. Then you have to deal with that part of it also. So because as a trainer, you're supposed to get a piece of everything, not just you know, the upfront fight fee, but you get a part of the, you know, the thing else that comes in later.
How do you manage that? Because it seems like there's no overhead, just a shake of a hand and honesty, pretty much.
Well, that's what that's what it's supposed to be, you know. But a lot of times it's not that way. You know, sometimes they try to hide that fact from you, that you still get the extra money. And I've seen a lot of lawsuits happen behind that, you know. So, but you know, you have to know before you go in there, you know, on that certain fight, if your guy is going to get a percentage of the pay-per-view.
Right. That leads me to ask you: has that ever happened to you? Like you were shortchanged? Can you talk about it? Can you? I mean, you led me there, Coach. You led me there, Coach.
Well, it didn't happen to me. Well, basically it did, but then it didn't. Okay. Because at the time it did happen, I wasn't a head trainer, but I was the assistant trainer. And but once the head trainer filed a lawsuit, you know, I didn't even ask for nothing, but they sent me money anyway after they settled the lawsuit.
Got that. And you've trained some hella fighters, man. Let's start up top with Evander Holyfield. How did that relationship come to about, you and Evander?
With Holyfield?
Yes, Holyfield, yes.
Yeah. So the thing with Holyfield was when I first started training fighters, Lou Duva and George Benton came down here to Texas, and they had all the guys training in Pasadena, Texas, which is about 45 minutes from me. Well, they came to our gym and watched me, do some hand pads with some fighters, and then they came and asked me would I be interested in helping them train, basically everyone that fought on the '84 Olympic team.
Mhm.
And at first I was like, nah, because I just quit boxing, and so I didn't really want to do it. So, but then they came back about a month later and said, look, man, we really want you to come and help us. And I did. And the first person they threw me in with was Evander Holyfield doing the
Wow.
hand pads.
Wow. And how would you rate him then and rate him in the prime of his career? Because you had him awfully young. How would you rate him?
Oh,
As,
man, at the beginning,
uh-huh.
Evander, the real deal is the right name for him
Really?
because Evander Holyfield is the real deal. And he just kept getting better and better and better, you know. And I even had him at the end of his career when he had so many injuries that, I mean, I don't know how he was still able to fight with all the injuries that he had.
Hmm. And you also trained Tyson as well, yeah?
I trained him only for the Lennox Lewis fight.
And what was it like training Tyson? I mean, did you think he had a lot left in the tank, looking back at it, or was it like because it seemed like because in Mike Tyson's interviews, I'm pretty sure you heard him say, "Man, I was just depleted, basically. I just was in it for the money. I owed so many people money. I just had to do it." Training Tyson then and what you saw on pay-per-view versus Lennox Lewis, how would you gauge and what percentage would you say he had left, mentally and physically?
He didn't have a lot left. He didn't have a lot left at all. It was,
Wow.
at the beginning of training, when I got there, he was already there for like 6 weeks before I got there.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got there, we had about 8 weeks to go. So I just finished training Vernon Forrest to fight Shane Mosley. So I couldn't be there for the early times. But once I got there, I was like, man, he don't have a lot left. But then, things picked up. And man, Mike really was looking sharp. He was looking really good. And I said, man, this guy, he has an opportunity to win this fight. I understand that, you know, we just got to try to get, if we could get this a little piece of the old Mike for like 8 to 10 rounds, I think he can knock Lennox out. But it didn't go that way.
It didn't go that way. Yeah, man. How much if we look at like the Razor Ruddocks fight or like Michael Spinks would be a great fight because I'm sure many of the fans left. If Michael Spinks was 100% of Mike Tyson, what percentage of Mike Tyson walked in the ring against Lennox Lewis, would you say?
I would say he was probably about 35% of himself, which is not a lot in the sport
No,
of boxing.
that's not a lot.
He wasn't, I was trying to hope that we at least had 50% of Mike, but we just didn't have it.
Wow. Wow. And man, and you know what the funny thing is? It seemed like Lennox Lewis knew that. Like, oh man, it seemed like he always walked with that broad shoulder, that arrogance, you know what I mean? But it seemed like, man, I'm about to get all this money from this dude. This guy is nowhere near the man that he was. Have you had conversation with Lennox Lewis? Is that why you laughing or?
Yeah, that's why I'm laughing because they knew that they
Uh-huh.
wasn't getting the 100% Mike Tyson. They knew
Mm-hmm.
that. I
Right.
think everybody knew that.
Right.
But look, Mike. But once you're a puncher, you always gonna be a puncher.
Right.
And we were just hoping that we can get Mike in good enough shape to where we can get that head movement going,
Yeah.
that fast pace going, and clip Lennox. If we could hurt him, I felt we had a chance to knock him out.
How was he in training? Was he a good person to train, or was he like, I'll be there at 5, then he comes at 8?
Ah, man, Mike was there every day. He was every time we asked him to be there, he was there. We didn't have
Wow.
any problems with him at all. You
Uh-huh.
know, he wanted to win this fight. You know, that was the most important thing. And
Oh
I
yeah.
think that's what we had to have. We had to have that in order for it to work.
Mm-hmm. Can you take us behind the veil a little bit? Because I was a little kid, young kid back then. I didn't know much about it, but can you take us behind the scene in the process and getting to Memphis? Or did you know about the business of boxing to get to Memphis? Like, how challenging was it behind the scenes? Because Mike had all those suspensions and all that, and y'all took the fight to Memphis. How? What did that look like from your perspective?
I really didn't have a question. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah. What was it like from your perspective? I was a little kid then, so not a little kid, but a young adult. When Mike Tyson fought Lennox Lewis, and Mike Tyson had all these suspensions, right? And what was it like behind the scenes trying to get the fight to Memphis? Because you guys were in search of a city in the state to put it on.
Right. Well, it wasn't hard at all for us, basically,
Mm-hmm.
because Mike, his people basically handled everything. Shelly Finkel and
Yeah.
Mike had some people working with it also. So, he did have a lot of suspensions everywhere, but when they found Memphis, they say, hey, that's the perfect place to put it. And I thought it was too, because you got two African American fighters fighting, and Memphis is basically,
Yes.
all black, basically, and I think it was the right place to put it. And hey,
Mm.
the crowd showed out. They really
Didn't
did.
Didn't they? Yeah, man. Quick question: pork or beef ribs? You said Memphis, so I got to ask you: pork or beef ribs, Coach Shields?
Pork.
Oh, so you went to Porky's then? You went to Porky's and had that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. I've been to Porky's quite a few times, man. The co-host is on. What's up, DB?
Greetings, the legendary and great and phenomenal and awesome coach Ronnie Shields. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, man. How about yourself?
I'm unbelievable. Glad to have you here with us, man. I want to take it back a little bit, and then I'm going to rewind and fast forward a little bit too. F.A. Ajagba, you had F.A. with you some time ago, and I remember, I think it was maybe 2018 or 19, you said that by 2021, F.A. would be a world champion. How do you feel about that statement now?
Well, he's not with me now, so definitely not. His career is stalled right now.
Yeah, so, I mean, obviously he's got some physical attributes. Do you think that he may not be a champion now because your strategy is not behind him, the X's and O's, or is it just his mind overall?
Well, it's not just my strategy. At the time, he had a great manager and he had a great promoter behind him. And, it takes a team if that's what you're going to have with you. And once you have a team with you and everybody has the same goal, it makes it so much easier for the fighter. They made sure that he didn't want for anything, that everything was right there for him. And when you mess that up, then you mess your whole career up.
Yeah, got it. And then I want to ask you about some of the guys in your camp. I know we know the high-profile guys, but who are some of the younger guys and up-and-coming fighters, whether they're pro or amateur, that's training with you that we should look out for?
I think on the pro side, I got this kid, this cruiserweight, Efetoba Apochi. He's from Nigeria also. He came over with F.A. Ajagba. But this kid, let me tell you something. Be looking out either April the 10th or April the 17th. He's going to fight an eliminator. I don't know what network just yet, but be looking out for that kid, Efetoba Apochi. And then on the amateur side, I got some really good little amateur kids coming up. they're getting ready for the Nationals right now in Shreveport, Louisiana. March 26th through like April the 3rd. So, we got some good up and coming kids coming up too.
Can you give us at least one of the names so we could start following this kid now?
Oh yeah, okay. Well, I got a little lightweight named Eric Jones. This kid, he's 23 years old. He's a young kid and he's really, really good. And he's as a lightweight. And this kid, he's going to be. I think he has a future in the sport of boxing.
Okay. And outside of your camp, just for guys in the sport now, which one of the prospects really catches your eye?
Sorry, I didn't hear the question.
Can you repeat that to him, Fred?
What prospect catches your eye outside of your camp? Young prospect.
Oh man. You talking about that's already pro or amateur?
Sure, pro. Try both if you don't mind.
Pro? Well,
yeah.
In the amateurs, I really don't know because I haven't seen really anybody, in the last year because of this pandemic. But outside, I like the kid Ryan Garcia. I think he's a really good fighter. I like I think the lightweight division is going to be the division that takes over in the next year or so because they got so many good fighters out there. This kid Virgil Ortiz is a really, really good fighter also, and my man from Philadelphia, that kid Javon Ennis, he is a really, really good fighter. And out of all the prospects, though, I like Javon Ennis probably better.
I also want to ask you about Errol Spence Jr. versus Danny Garcia. I remember hearing you doing analysis on one or two shows, and you said that Errol Spence would come out on top, but you said it would be a tough fight. Now, after seeing the performance and Errol dominating Danny Garcia, what's your analysis now, and how do you think Errol Spence will fare against the rest of the division, specifically guys like Terrence Crawford and Keith Thurman and whatnot?
Well, like I said, I thought it was going to be a tough fight, but I don't know. Danny didn't show up that night. It's not the Danny Garcia that I think a lot of people knew. That it's just like, I don't know, maybe Errol has something to do with it. But again, Errol dominated. He won. Now, I think with Keith Thurman, it'll be a tough fight because of his style. He has more of a boxing mentality, and Errol normally fights guys that really want to fight, that come forward. Keith is going to back up, but then he can come forward. Keith has a lot of power, so that could help him out. But I would pick Errol in that fight. Now, as far as the best two fighters in the world at welterweight right now, I believe is Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. But I think I have to get a slight edge to Errol Spence just because I think Errol has more power and his knowledge of boxing is slightly better. But, you can't take anything away from Terrence Crawford because this kid, he comes to fight. And people say, oh, he's not fighting anybody. He can only fight who they put him in the ring with. It's not his fault that he can't get the big fights. So, he just had to hang in there. He's going to get that opportunity. And I know I'm definitely going to buy it if he does fight Errol Spence.
Yeah. And speaking of Errol Spence, I want to talk about Derek James for a second. I believe Derek James has been trainer of the year for the past 2 years. Outside of yourself, because you're a phenomenal trainer too. What are some of the great qualities about Derek James and what he brings to the fight game?
Well, he was a fighter himself, so he's he knows the sport inside out. Once you get in there and you've been in there, then you know what to look for and what to get your guy to look at, with different fighters, with different styles. Once you've been there and done that, you've seen different styles, then it's easier to help you as long as your guy got faith in you, to get him to do the thing that you want him to do. And that's what Derek has done, with Errol Spence. And this is why they're so successful. You know, once you got a guy that knows this sport inside out, you know, it makes it a lot easier as long as the guy, you know, he's on board with what you want to do. And that makes it so much easier on not only the fighter, but the trainer also.
Yeah. Arrow is looking to become undisputed. So does Jermall Charlo, you know, one of your old pupils. Jermall is one fight away. Do you believe that right now Jermall Charlo is the pound for pound best fighter in boxing?
Well, I don't know if he's the best pound for pound fighter in boxing. You know, you know, pound for pound really. I'm not into pound for pound because you have so many good fighters out there, and you know, how can you say that one guy is better than everybody else? You know, that's just hard to say to me. That's just, you know, I never understood that. You know, I remember when I was training for Whitaker, and he was so-called pound for pound the best fighter in the world. You know, I mean, you know, yes, he was a great fighter. He really was. But, you know, who's to say that at that time that he was better than everybody? You know, I mean, you know, you got a lot of good guys that don't get no publicity in the smaller weight classes that are really, really good fighters that we never see. So how do we know that? You know, and I think that was a mistake when they put in pound for pound because it makes guys hate each other. And you know, boxing is not supposed to be about hate. It's supposed to be about the competition. And anybody can get beat on any given night. So to sell guys pound for pound, I don't like it.
Can I ask a follow up? I never heard you. Out of fairness to you, Coach Shields, I never heard you respond to Jermall Charlo's claims. I was looking all down for the interviews, but if you wanted to respond, and he says, "Oh, he didn't believe in me. He didn't do." I haven't heard you respond. Did you want to take time to respond to that for the record?
I didn't have a question. I'm sorry.
Jermall Charlo said in a couple of interviews, I forget which one it was, that he left Ronnie Shields because he didn't believe in me. And I hadn't heard you respond to that. So I was going to ask, did you want to respond to that for the record? Just so I can have some fair and balance.
Well, it's not that I didn't believe in Jermall. You know, I started this kid out, you know, and he worked hard every single day. I never had a problem with him in the gym working hard. He always did that. And I give him a lot of props for that. But in fights, it started happening in fights that he stopped listening. He wanted to knock everybody out. And, you know, he would get away from the game plan. And, you know, look, he fought some good guys coming up. And we got, you know, was fortunate to get wins that I thought was going to be really hard fights for him. He fought, you know, some really good guys. And I knew he could beat them, but I thought he would do better than what he did. And our thing was that, you know, we weren't on the same page in the fight. We was on the same page in the gym. But when we get to the fight, if we're not on the same page, you know, something has to change. And by mutual agreement, you know, we split.
What was that parting conversation like? Because Jermall does more interviews than you, so I'm just trying to, so people have a reference point for you. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just having reference points for you, so people say the checks and balances system, you know. So that's all.
Yeah, absolutely, I understand. But look, I see him a lot, you know. So, you know, it's no, you know, I got nothing, no ill will against him. He has no ill will against me. You know, it was what it was. We had a great run together. You know, he was undefeated, you know, when he left. So, you know, and a lot of people always ask me all the time, you know, why would you let an undefeated guy go? Look, if I can't get along with somebody, there's no sense in us working together if we could just argue every day in the gym. That's not what it's supposed to be about. You know, if I'm the trainer, then I'm gonna give you instructions to what to do. If you can't do those instructions, then there's no sense in us wasting our time. Then you can go to somebody else and you can argue with them as much as you want to. You know, I'm not in this. I'm not in this for that. This is a business, and I treat it like a business.
Wow. Um, speaking of, go ahead.
Fred, let me follow up to that just real quick.
Yes.
So I'm sure you know that Mark Breland has parted ways with Deontay Wilder, and he made some semi-slandering comments about Deontay Wilder. Do you feel it's the coach's duty and in the coach's best interest to take the high road in a situation like that and not speak?
Well, I think if you know Mark Breland, then Mark Breland, you know, he's not in a rush to do anything. You know, he would just bide his time and waiting. He wanted this to pass over, but people wouldn't let it pass. So he had to come out and speak. But I mean, I think fighters have to understand that as a trainer, you have to have a heart.
Wow.
I mean, I wouldn't want to see a guy get hurt inside of that ring. Look, I think in 2019, we lost four fighters in that ring. You know, as a trainer, your job is to protect your fighter. You know, this is a blood and guts sport, but it's not, you have to die in the ring. What purpose does that serve? If you are hurt inside of that ring and you can't continue, you can always come back another day. Who says? Look, nobody likes to lose. But in the sport of boxing, you're not going to have a guy that can go through his whole career without a loss. That's almost impossible. Look, people ask me all the time what Floyd Mayweather did. Well, you got to understand something. Floyd Mayweather lost too, but he was given a gift when he fought Jose Castillo the first time. Then he came back and he righted the wrong. But at the same time, he still lost, but he just got a gift decision. So, but anybody can lose in the sport of boxing, but it's how you come back. It's what's going to determine how your career is going to go. So what? Deontay lost. Okay. But look how many times he's won. And everybody knows Deontay is a good fighter. But at the same time, you can't accuse your trainer of giving you water that he didn't even give you. He didn't give him no water. So how can he accuse the trainer of giving him water that was tainted that he didn't give him? How can he accuse him of not watching Tyson Fury's glove when his manager did it? His manager was the guy that wouldn't watch the reps and put the gloves on, not Mark. He didn't do that. But everything he said against Mark pointed to JD's. But you get mad at Mark because he look out for your best interest and stop the fight. You can always come back another day.
Yeah, that got your blood boiling a little bit, Coach Shields. I know you and Mark. Mark been down for a minute. You know what I mean? Yeah, and you're supposed to protect your brother. You're absolutely right. You're supposed to protect your brother.
Absolutely. But look, if it would have been me, I would have started the fight 2 rounds earlier.
Wow. And you said, and like you said, he can come back. How do you make sense of what do you look for when you're wrapping gloves? So people can have clarity. What's the process? But so people can give a different perspective. You just mentioned that JD's was in the room when he was getting his hand wraps. What do you see when you go into the opponent's locker room to get their hands wrapped? Can you walk us through that process real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the first thing is, before you get in there, the commission take a look at the wraps and the tape. You take a look at both of those things before the trainer goes in there. But once we go in there, we see everything sitting on the table or wherever they put it at. So then, as the guy is wrapping, if it's something I see that's illegal, then I have to point it out to the inspector.
Right.
And most of the time I just wrapping hands. Okay, there's no problem with the gauze. Basically with the gauze, it's just to cover, different parts of the hand. So that's no problem. What some people have problems with is the tape. You're supposed to have tape an inch behind the knuckle. You know, some people try to put it directly on the knuckle. So that's illegal to put tape directly on the knuckle. It's got to be an inch behind it. And most people, that's where the problem happens at, right there, when they get too close to the knuckle. And so you just tell the inspector, you know, could you check that? And the inspector will check it if you have a problem with it. But let me tell you something. Of all the fights that I've been involved in, I've never seen that. I've never had a problem with somebody trying to cheat with putting the tape over the knuckle. You know, especially when you have an inspector there. You know, and you know, most trainers are really good at, you know, you want to protect your fighter's hand, but also you know, most trainers are good at at doing the thing the legal way, you know. And so once you sign off on a rap and you leave, now it's up to the inspector to make sure nothing else happens with the rap. That's their job. And
Yes.
also their job is to inspect the gloves. They have to inspect the gloves thoroughly. They give you the gloves when you walk in. Take a look at these gloves. If you see anything that you don't think is right, then give them back to me, and then I'll call the head inspector in and let him come in, and then y'all could discuss it. And normally, what they do is they weigh the gloves. They're not going to give you gloves that's not weighed or that they feel something is torn on it or whatever. They do almost every place you go to, the inspectors do a good job at what they're supposed to do. So, you know, I don't see what the discrepancy is with with Tyson Fury's gloves. You know, they still were saying something was wrong with the gloves. Well, then you got to take that up with the inspector, because your guy looked at the gloves, your manager looked at the gloves, and if he didn't see anything, then if he saw something, he should have said something.
Now, after you put the wraps on, how you go back to your locker room and they glove up on their own, and what's the time
Well,
frame typically? I'm sorry, go ahead.
no,
What's the oh,
so what they ask, no, no. So what they ask you is once they finish the wrap, they ask you, do you want to come back and watch them put on the gloves to make sure that the gloves are tied, you know, at a certain point. That, you know, you can't skin the gloves like you could back in the early 80s and early 90s. You could skin the gloves, but now it's illegal to skin the gloves. But the inspector doesn't leave the fighter. The inspector is with him. If he has to go to the restroom, the inspector has to go to the restroom. You know, that's just the way it is. You know, so but you know, a lot of times, you know, if it's a championship fight, yeah, you know, I send somebody back unless I do it myself to go and watch them put on gloves. Just, you know, just to make sure everything is, you know, but I trust, like if I'm in Vegas or New York, Vegas and New York are the strictest at both things. You know, they really strict. And, you know, and a lot of times I say, you know what? No, these guys know what they're doing. So I don't even mess with even trying to send somebody to go watch them put the gloves on.
okay. Have you seen the Tyson Fury gloves? Have you seen what's been going on online, and what you have an opinion on that?
Oh yeah.
What do you
Are
think?
you still talking about Mark Breland and Deontay?
No, yeah, I'm talking about Tyson Fury's gloves itself. Have you seen Tyson Fury's gloves that's been online?
No, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen it.
Okay. So you don't know. DB, you want to follow up on that? Or you want to?
No, I'm good on that right there. But I do want to ask Coach about Justin Paul versus Raleigh Romero. Whatever happened to that?
Well, man, I was something that as a trainer, I've never been through that in my life. You know, Justin, I've been trying to get Justin to move up in weight for the last year and a half. And he didn't want to. He wanted to stay at 135. So I said, okay, no problem. So when the opportunity came for us to fight Rolling, I thought it was a great fight for him. he thought it was a great fight also. And so, but he always, speak to his dad about every fight that he has. And they came back to me and say, let's do it. It's a good fight. So I told him, I say, before we leave, we got to make sure, we're no more than 1 or 2 pounds overweight. So he said, okay, no problem. So about 3 days before we left, I don't have a scale in the gym. So he has a scale at home. I said, look, you need to tell me where we are right now. And so he told me, say, I'm 3 pounds over. I said, you're perfect. 138 is perfect. So, because when we leave, I say, we got to be close and we have to be there on weight because it's cold up there and we don't have access to a sauna or anything. So I said, let's just make sure that we're there. He said, okay. So when we left, he said, I'm on weight. He said, I'm 3 pounds over. So I thought that was perfect. So when we got there, I put him on the scale and he was like 5 pounds over. So said, okay, so, we still got time. We had a bunch of time. So, we know how to eat right. We know what to do. So anyway, he was trying as best he could. And then when it's time for the weigh-in, on the night before the weigh-in, he was like 2.5 pounds. So I say, man, if I tell you wake up in the morning, you'll lose at least a half a pound. So we'll get 2 pounds off easy, So we having jumping in the shower, we're doing things that we're supposed to do to get it off. So now it's time to go to weigh-ins. So I get him, I say, come on, let's go. So we go to the weigh-ins and he's walking like something is wrong with him. So I said, what's wrong? He said, I think it's my kidney. He said, my on both sides. He said, my kidneys are killing me. I said, well, you're dehydrated. It's what it is. So I say, don't eat or drink nothing. Just wait until after the weigh-ins and then we'll see, what's going on. So we go upstairs, get him, and then we get down to the weigh-ins and he's still complaining. So he get on the scale and it was still 138. So I said, well, we got to get off. We got to go back. We got to do something. So he tried to go back and lose some more weight, but then he just kept complaining about his eye. And so when we went back down to do the pre-fight physical, they saw him wincing, and the doctor said, look, I can't pass you right now. You would have to go to the hospital first and see what's going on with your kidneys. And then, then we could pass you. But it never got to that point because the state athletic commissioner of Connecticut, he came and talked to Justin and he said, I can't let you fight like that. He said, even if you go to the hospital and they say nothing is wrong, you can't fight. So, but after we got back home, he went to the doctor and they did a thorough examination on him, x-rays and MRIs on him. They found out he had a cyst on his liver. And so now, just waited to see if he got to have an operation.
Wow. I'm glad y'all caught it. DB, let me get to the super chats real quick. General Squirrel says, smash the like button. And we got a question. It's gone, but he says he's 150 pounds. He's 5'10". What's some great weight loss things that he can do? He said he's on the slender side. He's 5'10", 150 pounds.
Now he was saying what weight class should he get down to?
Oh, what weight class should he go down to? He's 5'10", 150 pounds walking around.
Well, I mean, if he has no problems with 147, I suggest he make 147. If he's going to be strong at that weight, but sometimes, 3 pounds is a lot sometimes, especially when you're tall, you're lanky, if you don't feel strong at 147, then definitely 154 is your division. You have to feel strong when you get in that ring. And if you don't feel strong at 147, definitely go up to 154. And you don't have to put on more weight, but necessarily because now you can eat. I tell fighters all the time, if you can eat before the weigh-ins, that's the best thing to keep your body doing everyday stuff. Because then your body, you don't have to lose weight, so you're good. So 154 pounds is really good. But if you can make 147 and be strong, I suggest that.
Okay. And L Dub just want to say hello. Salute to Fred and Coach Shields. Appreciate you, L Dub. When are you and Jermall scheduled to get back in the ring? When do y'all start camp?
Well, I talked to Jermall this morning actually, and you know, and I spoke with him not too long ago, and looked like it may be in May, but we don't have an opponent. They're gonna look and they'll call me, in enough time to tell me who's the opponent possibly may be. But Jamal's gonna try to start in about a week or two. Start
Okay.
getting back in the gym, just light work at the beginning.
Okay. And who would you want to see him fight at 160? Before we get into the David Benavidez stuff, who would you want to see him fight at 160?
Well, I don't know, man. It's a lot of good fighters out there at 160. You got the kid that just knocked out James Kirkland. He's a pretty good fighter from Mexico.
Montreal,
he's one of the guys.
Yeah.
I took a look at him. He's like a pretty decent fighter that we can fight. But I mean, it's so many guys, man, that in the division, you have to just see who's available, and then I think we'll have to work for there.
Okay. How would he fare at 168? Is that feasible? Because obviously the internet is going wild. I've been reporting on it. David Benavidez has been on this channel. He actually did the fight with Caleb Plant. Is that feasible for him just to go directly into, from your perspective, your mindset? Would you want him to take a couple fights at 168, maybe one or two, or you think he's physically capable of going straight to a David Benavidez fight at 168?
Well, the thing with Jermall, he's a champion. So, at 160. So, I mean, at 168 with the right fight, if a Canelo fight was available, definitely right away, because that's the fight that you want. That's the fight everybody wants, So, but other than a guy like Canelo, I don't know. I definitely don't make that decision. Al would make that decision, but he would definitely call me and and get my opinion on what I think. But right now, Jermall is a middleweight right now. Like I say, I've been seeing this stuff about Benavidez and all that stuff. Fighters are going to be fighters. So fighters is not going to let another fighter talk him down, talk to him about certain things, and then, he feels it's disrespectful. So he's going to talk back. And so, but right now, Jermall Charlo is a middleweight.
I just think at Jermall, what, he's 30, 31 years old, like he needs a transcending fight.
He'll be 31 soon.
Oh, thank you. 31 soon. Appreciate that. And I don't see a transcending fight at 160. Triple G is not going to fight him. He has one big payday, and he's praying that Canelo picks him. He's been chasing him for 2 years since the fight, 2.5 years, excuse me. I want the world to see, in my personal opinion, I think Jermall Charlo is a hell of a fighter. But what is that fight in your eyes right now at 160? I know you heard said Montreal. Is that fight available at 160? That, oh man, Jermall is who he say he is. He is a lion. Or does he have to go up at 68, or maybe catch weight a guy at 68? Or maybe.
Well, man, boxing is so funny because, when Jermall moved up from 154 to 160, people saying, he can't fight at that weight. He'll never do anything at that weight. And now he's champion of the world at 160. But then now people are talking, he'll never do nothing at 168. He's too small. He's this, he's that. Jermall is a big 160, and he'll be a big 168 also. So look, I just don't pay attention to it because I've seen it too much. I've seen it too much. Even when I remember when Evander Holyfield, when he was cruiserweight champion, and when he first moved up, everybody said the same thing. Oh, he's too small. But then when he went up and won the world championship, There's always something where he can't fight this guy or he can't fight that guy. No, if you got skills, you can fight anybody with your skill. And Jermall had the skills to fight anybody.
Right. DB?
Yeah, I want to go back just real quick for some of the boxing nerds and myself, and then I'll fast forward here. But in terms of Justin's fight, do you think he'll get a chance to get in the ring with Riley? And as a fighter and also as the coach, is it important to avenge the losses to like Efrain Cruz and also for Austin Dulé?
Well, the thing about Justin is now, definitely we're going to have to move him up to 140 pounds. He cannot make 135 pounds. That's just simple as that. So, so anything at 140 now, we're going to have to rebuild at 140. 135 is not going to be in his future at all.
Got it. Now, back to serious business about Jermall. How much weight does he cut during his camps? Like, what's his usual walk around weight?
Jermall walks probably about 175. I would say
Really?
175. So
Are you
yeah. So he's in that 15-pound range.
really?
Got it. So
Wow, that's a hell of good for him. That's hella discipline. Wow.
Yeah. He fit comfortably at 168, coach, right?
Oh, he's real comfortable at 160. I mean, he really is. Our problem, the problem he had was at 154. That was the problem, And, it's so funny because, when we fought Julius Williams, I didn't even want him to take that fight because, he couldn't make the weight. I mean, it was just impossible, man. I never thought we'd make the weight. We tried, and I mean, it's nothing. He was sitting in a sauna, and not one bead of sweat was coming off him.
Jesus.
We jumped rope, we shot about, we ran up, jumping up and down, did everything, and nothing. We was having nothing coming off, And but the only reason he took the fight is because Julian was talking so much smack. So that's the reason he took the fight. But he said, I don't care if it kills me, I'm gonna make this weight. And he couldn't even do the fight interviews. I had to go do that. And then he finally got a sweat, and it was just enough for him to make 154. But right that night after that fight, I told him that's it, no more.
Yeah, he's still got tons of power at 60. You think the same power will translate to 68 as well?
Oh yeah. I think the transition to 160 is going to be easy for him. Look, let me tell you something, man. This kid, he works hard. When I tell you this kid works hard, he works hard. There's no slack in this kid.
Yeah. How funny is Jermall Charlo?
Or is he funny?
I'm sorry. I caught up with him. How funny is he?
Yeah. Does he have a sense of humor, or is he always in? Yeah, I'll do the follow. Yeah. Is he funny?
No, he has a sense of humor. He
Okay.
does. Yes, indeed. He has a sense of humor. He don't just split a lot in public, but you come to that gym, man, and if you're not, if he's not doing interviews or something like that, but if you just come to the gym and just come watch him train, you'll see it. You see the humor in him.
Yeah, I always say that. I say every time because I've seen Jermall and Jermall up close, and I always say they cut from a different cloth in terms of their physical attributes. Like it's just insane. I thought that literally, like maybe Jermall could have been like a hurdler or a 400-meter runner. I think Jermall probably could have been a starting free safety in the NFL or something. I think physically they're just different. No, because I play basketball with Jermall. He's not a great basketball player, but I can see the athleticism, like the gait. You know what I mean? The gait and how he catches the ball, and he's just big frame, broad shoulders. It's I think physically he's just a different breed, for real.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Coach, how involved are you in the fight making process? I know there's you and I know there's Al Heyman, but I don't know if there are any other people involved in that. does it ultimately come down to who Jermall says he wants to fight? Or, I mean, since he's under the tutelage of Al Heyman, you know, and you, of course, what's that process like?
Well, you know, what it is, Al Heyman called me and asked me what I think about certain fighters. And, you know, I'll take a look at them, then I get back with him, you know, and then he'll tell me, hey, just go over it with Jermall, see what he thinks. And then we'll sit down and we'll watch, you know, and if it's some guy that we already know, then, you know, then we don't have to sit down and watch, then we know what we have to do already. But basically, yeah, you know, when Al presents an opponent, you know, I go over it with Jermall, then I get back to him. I say, yeah, you know, and it's, look, in the sport of boxing, you have to really be smart in this sport, you know, especially with up and coming fighters. You can't just take every fight that, you know, that somebody presents to you because maybe it's style wise it don't look good or whatever. And up and coming fighters, they always seem like they want to prove something. It's not about proving anything, it's about being smart and working your way up to the top to get to that champion. That's where you want to be. And you know, you don't have to take every fight that's presented to you because maybe the style is not what you need or whatever. But you know, once you get to a certain level, then you know, it's no turning back. It's no turning back or no turning down fights. You know, you have to see who's there and if the time is right.
Yeah, understood. How many guys are at the gym training with Jermall right now? Do you guys have a circuit of guys? I mean, even when it's not in camp, like, is there about 10 to 15 guys? Is it just, you know, the same 3 people and over again?
No, not really. Not really. You know, I mean, basically you have to look in the top 15 of the weight division. You know, he's the champion, you know, at WBC. So, you know, anybody from the top 15 is eligible to fight for the world title if it's not a mandatory. So if it's not a mandatory, you know, but let's look at Mark's last fight against Chinko, you know, against Dervinchenko. You know, he was the #1 contender, but he wasn't a mandatory. So we didn't have to fight him when we fought him, you know, but that's a fight that people, you know, I mean, people kept telling Jermall he couldn't beat this guy because Dervinchenko gave Danny Jacobs a hard fight because he gave Triple G a hard fight. You know, people are telling Jermall he couldn't beat this kid, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, we always try to tell him, look, don't worry about what people say. You know, we just go, you know, we go choose who we feel is right for you at the time. So, but since this guy was the #1 contender, look, we have to fight him anyway. So let's go ahead on. And, you know, we like the style matchup. I did. I really liked it. When Al called me about it, I said, let's do it. I said, I love the style matchup.
Right. I think it was a bit confused, Coach. What about his training partners? I'm saying, is he training with the same guys over and over again, or?
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Guys that you work with?
No, I mean, I try to get guys that has a similar style to the guy we're fighting. If a guy has a similar style, you know, I mean, we hardly ever use the same guy for different fights. You know, that's not, you know, unless I feel a guy's gonna push them all where I want him to be pushed, then I may bring him back in.
Can I ask Jermall went live about a week ago, and he said something that kind of threw me in a loop. He says, I'm going, and I'm sure if you heard this, he says, I'm gonna go down to go train with Derek James for a fight. Did you hear that?
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Okay. Jermall went live and says, it may have been tongue in cheek. Feel free to elaborate on it. But he said, I'm going to go train with Derek James for a fight. Was he trying to get at his brother or something like that? or did you hear that?
No, I didn't hear that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he said it on his live. He probably was joking.
No, that's what they did.
He was in the middle of, I know he loves. Hey, what's it like training them together? Take us to the gym for that, because they
Hey,
What's that like?
It was okay training them together, but
Uh-huh.
when when they really got to be contenders, that's when
Mhm.
it became difficult to train them together because I
Mhm.
couldn't let them spar no more, because they were trying to kill each other because the one always wanted to be better than the other, you
Right,
know.
right.
So I used to separate them. I wouldn't let them spar against each other, you
Uh-huh.
know. I remember the last time they sparred against each other. They wasn't working on anything. It was like they was enemies, and I had to stop it. And I told them, I said they will never spar again, and
Uh-huh.
they never did.
Uh-huh. It seems like Jermall loves pushing Jamel's buttons. Like he thoroughly thrives on it because I seen him go live. It's like he thrives on pushing his, calling him little brother. I'm big bro, whatever it is, you know. You got to sit back and watch all that stuff. I don't have a brother, so I
Well,
don't
I
know.
mean, I heard about.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, but look, they both
Uh,
push each other's buttons. They
uh,
do. But let me
yeah,
tell you something.
yes,
But let me tell you something. They do
uh,
push each other's buttons.
yeah.
But when it comes for them to fight, let me tell you something. You ain't gonna find two brothers that's closer. You will
I
not
know.
find two brothers that's rooting for each other.
Speak upon that because it's funny you say that because I was watching who fought second. Who fought second? Who fought? Oh, Jermall fought second. Jermall was in the corner in a life, emotionally life or death with the. Speak on that. Speak on that because that's amazing. Like it seemed like they're kinetically connected or something like that.
And they are. They are. Look,
Uh-huh.
man, look, they, you know, they will always be brothers.
Mhm.
Always. They will always be twins. And but I'm telling you, they are real close. They are real close with each other. And, they will fight for each other. That
Mm,
they will do.
mhm.
Because that's how close they are to each other. I mean, but
Right.
they're just like any other brother. They fuss and they fight just like any brothers do. But
Sure.
when it come time, when it come time to be in the corner, nobody is bigger in the corner for Jamel than Jermall, and nobody is bigger in the corner than Jamel for Jamal.
I appreciate that about them. Like I genuinely, even though sometimes they annoy the shit out of me, like in terms of media, in terms of their media obligations and shit like that. But in terms of their love for each other, it's beautiful to see. It's definitely beautiful to see.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
what I mean?
oh yeah, absolutely, without a
Man,
doubt.
yeah, we gotta get them out. But I gotta ask you these questions, man, because I was doing some research on you, and you really appreciated Pernell Whitaker's work. Obviously, you had a lot to do with it, but I know you've been asked this before, but never on my platform. Pernell Whitaker versus Floyd Mayweather.
Everybody want to know about Pernell Mayweather.
Uh-huh.
Look, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. So when Floyd Mayweather got rid of the term professional, uh, he came to training camp with us. This is right before the Olympics, before the Olympics was in Atlanta. So he came to for Lou Duva to take a look at him to see if they was interested in maybe signing him when they turned professional. So and Floyd did that with a few people. I know he did it with Top Rank also. He went for them to take a look at it. So when he came, I put three guys in the ring with Pernell Whitaker. But that's what we did. George Benton. He said, "Look, we're gonna get three amateur kids." It was Floyd Mayweather. It was oh man, now I can't think of who the other two were. It was Zaire Rahim. I let Zaire go last. Floyd was second, and I can't remember who went first. I forget who went first, but I let
Mhm.
them three. They went 3 rounds each with Pernell. And Pernell, if you do Pernell, Pernell's gonna clown. In the gym, he don't want to get hit in the gym at all. So he's gonna do everything he can to make you throw punches at him, so he can make you miss and counter. That was his thing. That's what he did. And so when the first guy got in there, he couldn't touch Pernell. So when Floyd got in there, the first round, Pernell just clowned with him, played with him a little bit. But then he saw that Floyd could really fight. So, the second round, he kind of went at Floyd a little bit. And I mean, Floyd held his own. So I was like, that's, this kid is going to be something else. And then in the third round, though, he came out trying to throw a lot of punches at Pernell. And that's what Pernell loved that. So Pernell started slicking and jiving and punching behind it. And, it was really, really good work, And I knew Floyd was going to be something special then when I saw that he was able to give Pernell 3 hard rounds of work. So, but let me tell you something. If Floyd would fight Pernell in his prime, I would have to go with Pernell Whitaker.
That's funny. I'm with you on that, Coach. I take Pernell Whitaker versus the field. I'll be honest. I think Pernell Whitaker. I thought Pernell Whitaker was special. DB.
Yes. I just wanted to throw a couple of names real quick, and you can just sum it up in 1 or 2 or 3 words. Demetrius Andrade.
Good fighter.
Can that fight happen? Let me change that. Will that fight happen?
Well,
at 160, 168?
I don't think it will. I don't know because I go back to what I tell everyone. Whenever somebody brings Demetrius' name up, I have to tell a story. Demetrius signed a contract to fight Jermall, and a week before the fight, he backed out. He pulled out because he wanted to leave his promoter, who they had already signed the contract, and he wanted to go with Rock Nation with Jay-Z. And so I was told that Jay-Z told him don't take the fight, that he wanted him to fight on his platform. So he backed out of the fight. And I mean, that made Jermall and Jermall mad. So they say, you know what? When it's time to come for a big fight, when we get to be world champion, we'll never give him an opportunity. So that's that. But
how long? I'm sorry. How long before the fight did he pull out? How many weeks was it prior to the fight?
A week.
1 week?
A week before the fight. Wait, like a week and a half.
Damn. Wow.
Yeah, like awful. A week and a half. Yeah, you don't do that, man. Because you left your promoter to go to Jay-Z. I mean, that's downright disrespectful. But he did.
Right.
But he don't see nothing wrong with
it. And now he's stuck. He's stuck, man. He's the king of stuck. Yeah. His whole career has been a stuck date. You know what I mean?
But he has a contract with the zone. He has an obligation to the zone, just like Jermall has an obligation to Showtime.
Right. Oh, I got to ask you this before you get out of here. When fighters say, I got to talk to Al, when fighters say, I got to talk to Al, is that a synonym for ducking sometimes, all the time?
Hold on, I didn't hear the last part.
Is when fighters say, I got to talk to Al, is that a synonym for ducking?
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Okay.
Look, let me tell you something, man. Any fighter that's with Al Haymon, right? Mm-hmm. They're going to talk to Al before they do anything. Nothing's going to happen until they talk to Al Haymon.
Right.
I mean, Al is the man. But and people always talk. I mean, people talk so bad about Al, and they didn't even know Al. They don't know anything about him. They never even spoke to him before, so they don't know anything about him. But Al Haymon make things happen.
Georgie Benton story before you get out of here, please.
Oh man, I got a lot of stories on Georgie Benton.
Take your time. You can tell 3 if you like. I never met him.
I'll tell you one. Mm-hmm. You never met George? Oh wow, man, George was He was a great man. He really was. But let me tell you a story of me, George, and Lou Dover. So we go to the mall. George was like a woman with shopping. I've never seen a man like to shop more than George Benton. It's a true story. So we go to the mall. We go to the mall, and so George, he likes to buy things. You know, he likes to buy stuff, right? So he goes and he say, you know what? Hey, let's go to the mall. I need to buy some stuff. So he said, okay. So me, George, and Lou, I'm driving. So we go to the mall. We go in this store, and George said, I've got to buy a suit. I want to buy me a suit. Okay. So he goes in and he starts trying suits on. So he tries his sport coat on that, he really liked the way it fit. So he told the guy, let me see another one. So the guy grabbed this one. He said, try this one on. So George tries it on, and he said, oh man, this feels good. Man, this is perfect. He said, it don't need to be altered or nothing. So he said, how much is this one? So the guy grabs it and he looks at it and says, I've never seen this before. I've never seen this one before. So he said, let me go try to find one of the guys. Maybe they can come and tell me how much it costs. So the guy comes back and he looked at it and he said, there's no tag on here. I don't know why they didn't put a tag on it. So Lou Dover and myself, we laughing. We say, George, that's your coat that you walked in with. And the guy.
That's funny.
So the guy told him, look, man, now you could buy it if you want to. I don't know what to charge you for it though.
Oh man, DB.
Coach, the very last thing I want to ask you is Jermall Charlo afraid of coronavirus and COVID-19? He made a statement that he wants David Benavidez to take the vaccine. Has he been paranoid about this thing?
Look, man, we take so many tests. We test, before a fight, we test every week. And a lot of times we test twice a week. So, and anybody that come in the gym, they know they better not come in without a mask or anything on. But look, he's a young man, just like a lot of other young men. A lot of people don't think this thing is real, but it is. But he follows the guidelines though. He does everything he's supposed to do, and that's the most important thing.
Right.
Thank you, Coach, man. We appreciate you spending some time with us again, man. We had you down here last year, and yes, it's good to have you in the shop, talking shop with us. And you can always come here when you want to and get loose, because we in the barber shop, baby.
They in here messing with you, man. You got half the boxing world watching you talk right now. I'm looking at these numbers go up. Man, we appreciate you and we want that fight. Tell Jermall Frederick will stay on him for that fight. He called him out. I want the fight, man. Y'all do what y'all do, but man, I would, because the winner of that fight is more important than Canelo. The winner of that fight, in my humble opinion, is the people's champ.
Yes.
And that's what I believe. And I think Jermall has a fair chance. I think Jermall has a fair chance. And thank you for spending an hour with us, man. It was very humble to have you in here, man. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me, and I'm looking forward to coming back.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you, Coach Shields.
Coach Shields, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Coach Shields. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Hall of Fame. We gotta say Hall of Famer before we say Coach Shields, man.
Yeah. The Hall of Fame, Coach Ronnie Shields.
Thank you. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you. I'll beat you up. Thank you, brother.
Y'all have a good night.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, man. Coach Shields, man. What an awesome guy, man.
Coach Shields, man. He got some good energy, man.
He's exactly the same person in person that he is. Man, he's a cool dude. Calm, man, a few words. You know what I mean? And yeah, man. Yeah. Thank you, DB. I was like, DB, you got to help me crack this egg real quick. Yeah, man. Appreciate.
I didn't want to put all of the fighters' pressure on the coach. You know, I went to get some answers, but I didn't want to. You know, I didn't want to put the hammer to his head.
Yeah,
man.
that was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was totally fun, man. Yeah, Coach
Yeah,
Shields.
but he did his best, man. He came through knowing that these questions would be asked. You know what I mean? And he still came through. He didn't make no excuses.
Yeah.
And
Team Charlo was listening right now too. If you know Team Charlo, tell them we want that fight. We want David Benavidez versus Charlo. I mean, you fighting someone at 150, at 168 as a warm-up is beautiful for me. But if you get that fight, you can go in. The winner goes into the Canelo, quote unquote, y'all call it the Canelo sweepstakes. Shit. You got some juice because you got the fans now. And guess what, Jermall? You win that fight, you own the state of Texas.
Yeah.
That boy Canelo was just visiting. I'm telling you right now.
That's one situation where you don't have to be undisputed to be the king.
Yeah, right. Facts. Floyd was never undisputed. If you need some inspiration, you know. But yeah, man, it was a total ball having y'all. Y'all smash the like button, man. Y'all smash the like button. Please smash the like button. And yeah, man. Anything else, D?
No, I just wanted to say the same thing. Just repeat those things that you just said, man. It was almost 700 people in here at one point, and we only got 228 likes, man.
Yeah.
In the words of Blue Blood, man, where do they do that? Where do they do that?
Man, y'all funny, man.
Smash my motherfucking like button.
Y'all funny, man. How the hell y'all live on YouTube and don't smash the like button? Y'all crazy, man. Come on, man. We growing together, man. Y'all going together. You know what I mean? Man. Y'all growing together. So yeah, man. Yeah, smash that like button. Wipe your feet before you come in. That's what Blue Blood say.
That proves that these guys are not here to support. These guys are just coming here for dissension. They come in just for drama. Yeah. You know, in Spanish we say chisme. They're just coming for the chisme. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Anyhow, man, this was good stuff, man. So we're gonna posse up, mount up at 9 o'clock again.
Yeah, we got a good show tonight too. We got a good show, man. Tyson Fury admitted he took steroids, and he says everyone in boxing takes steroids. And Teofimo goes to purse bid. I think that's another one. Pound for Pound Boxing says that's a good show. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, pound for pound, man. Yeah. It's all love, man. Smash that like button. Smash that like button. We got
you gotta give some love to 3 or 4.
Oh man, let me give some love to Aeon Jack, man. Brother Cody 10, man.
Hey.
Vato Newton, Vato Newton, what's up? Hey, you got to say Vato Newton like you've never ever been to no hood ever. Vato Newton, welcome to the show. Dave Jack, man, what's up, big homie? And we can't forget Brother Love, aka Diddy, aka all up in the videos. You know, Reggie Owens, you know what I mean? You can't forget him. How about DreamWorks Gaming, man? Everybody get some love. Roscoe's down. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
Got my brother Hustler's home in the building. Big homie Cool in here getting it with us. Vato Newton in the building. My bro from down here. You know what I'm saying? Home soil. Aeon Jack in the building. Representing for us in Thailand right now. DreamWorks Gaming in the building. Brother Code 10 in the building. Roscoe Downs. Damon Walker. What up, D-Walk? Dave Jack in here, Detroit, the 313 in the house, and my big bro, Boxing Conversations with Reggie Owens in the building, Kuwaita Shakur. Let me say that again. Kuwaita Shakur. Shout out to you and the Shakur family. The Tupac Shakur, the Shakur Stevensons, all them Shakurs get some love. Angel Rosado, let's see, Clarence McLean, the boxing section. What up, pal?
Oh, y'all hit me say, why don't we watch this shit together? Wait. Somebody just hit me and says, I don't see him, but they said he went live. Let's see.
The Bola, he said, classy stuff, Fred and DB. Tough questions. Light move, Ronnie Shields today. Cliff Powell yesterday. You're like Spence showing us a different style each time out.
Oh, man, that's what's up. Oh, we got a $10 super chat, man. Bola. Classic. Yeah, oh, you said
got the $10 on your boy.
Yeah. $10 holla behind the trash can one time. Give me that $10 holler.
$10 holler. We got F Willows in the building. Let me see. He said, wipe your feet out the door. Blue blood. Yeah, shout out to Big Blue Blood. Let's see. Earl B. Jr., my brother, what's up with you, man? Damon, we got you. Damon, who else we missing? L Dub. I said, appreciate the interview. No, appreciate you for coming through, L Dub. Good question, too. Let me see. Roscoe Downs, we got you. JJ Romano in the building. He said, grateful for the content. Grateful for you being here. TZ Frank in the building. Ain't seen him in a couple of days. What's up, TZ Frank? Mr. Mechanical. He said, Fred got the barbershop lit.
We hot. Shit, I might bring Bob in tomorrow. I was thinking about asking Bob to come on, check his availability tomorrow.
Shit, let's do it.
Okay.
Alex Carrillo. What up, Alex? Them Lakers put it out, man. Let's see. Tone Brown. Peace, little bro. The Queen Patricia Shelton. And please, please, please give roses to the Queen Patty Dean. PPD again comes through for us as usual. My brother Hunter in the building. Let's see. Dr. Love Jones. Man, I think we got just about everybody. I see my cousin Eric R in here a little while ago.
And hit the subscribe button. Why don't y'all subscribe to the page, man? Just subscribe. Y'all niggas be coming in here. I'm not subscribed, but you watch all the videos, man. Subscribe. Hit the subscribe button one time for your boy. At least for a day. Subscribe for a day.
Yeah. Travis Ross, Juice Lee, Jose Martinez, Mike Jones.
Who?
Mike Jones.
Who?
Mike Jones. Let me see. And Mike 202 in the building also. And one mixtape player. Shout out to them LA boys. Let's see. I think we done covered about everybody. There go Batmanello in the building. Jay San in here. Mr. Vegas. Matt Trees. The Don. Man, we got a whole bunch of the family in here, man. And just in case we miss you, we're not overlooking you, man. We still love you and thank you for coming out. But we're going to slide over to Reggie Owens at some point because he's going to read a few books tonight. And we're going to be back in here at 9 o'clock. Rutledge, just see you. And my bro, General Squirrels, with the $5 holler. You see that super chat, Fred?
Yeah, so Coach Shields couldn't work or help Jermall, so he walked away. Who else know of that could have... Wait a minute. Oh, shit.
Who else could have done that?
Oh, yeah, who else could have done that? Yeah, great character. Yeah, great character.
Great point. For anybody with a half a brain knows exactly what my bro General Squirrels is talking about.
Right.
100. That's integrity right there.
Right.
Yes, indeed. You ready to roll, bro?
Yeah, absolutely.
Love you, man. I'll catch you at 9 o'clock.
Right, see you at
Play the song, Fred!
Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all. How about we fast forward to Rob G's part?
Big LT, what up? Big LT in the building.
Oh man, let's give. I'll give y'all 2 minutes back of your lives. How about that? Hit the like button on the way out. Subscribe to the channel. Come back at 9. We're gonna have some fun, man. Hey, tonight appreciate you, Broderick, man. Appreciate you, big dog. Hey, tonight gonna be one of the show where I just push live because y'all niggas got a lot to say about this. Once we watch this clip together, it's gonna galvanize the energy. D-Lo, full boxing. Hey, Rob G.
Hernandez gonna drop the 5?
He's not in here today. I didn't see it. Man, he had a lunch date. The hell he doing on an early dinner date? He knew we was having this show.
Hey, good. I see you, D-Lo.
Oh man.
Hey, subscribe to my brother D-Lo 44 Boxing. Great content over there.
Mm-hmm.
Subscribe to D-Lo 44 Boxing.
Last time, y'all, we seen this shit together. Why not? And fight this final round. Life's a play with no rehearsal. Come for your bro. You take it personal. Because the devil is a lie. Hey. I'm telling you the truth. Hey. It's all in what you do. Hey. When you gotta do. Hey. 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 Appreciate y'all, man. See y'all at 9 o'clock, man. 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Appreciate you. See you soon, D. All right, peace. Love y'all, man. Holla.